Hi everyone, it's me. So right now I am filming the first episode of Booking It besides the intro. So like I said before, the first episode is going to be about the book Meet Samantha. Now this is part of the Samantha Parkington series from the American Girl collection. It is written by, not Valerie Tripp, I think it's Susan Adler. Yes, Susan S. Adler, and the illustrations are by Nancy Niles, which are beautiful, by the way. This is an illustration of hers, which is also shown on the front. And if I could just show you one of the illustrations that are in the book, like that. It's just beautiful artwork. She did a very nice job. So, let me go and tell you the synopsis of the story, which is on the inside cover of the book, which is really nice because a lot of paperback books don't have the bibliography in the front, and this is an older version of the book because if you can tell, American Girl has, I can't even think of right now, there's probably 10 historical dolls, and on this there's only like 5. So yes, so if I'm wrong you can correct me, but out of the ones on the back I have Molly, Samantha, Addie, and Felicity, and I don't have Kirsten, but I have almost all of them that are on the originals. So let me read you the synopsis. So, Samantha Parkington is an orphan who lives with her rich grandmother in 1904. There are many servants in Grandmary's household, but there is no one for Samantha to play with. That's why she's so excited when Nellie moves in next door. Samantha soon learns that Nellie's life is much different from her own. Nellie has to come to work so that she can send money back to her family in the city. Even though their lives are different, the two girls become good friends. One day, Samantha discovers that Jessie, the seamstress, is leaving. No one will tell her why, so she and Nellie plan a secret midnight adventure to find out. So let me tell you what happens. So Samantha Parkington is growing up in the 1904 Victorian era, which, if you were rich, was very fancy, and you weren't supposed to, if you're a woman, you weren't supposed to get a job, and people rode in carriages. And it was just very elegant, and I think it's a time period which I would like to grow up in, and all the glitters 21L, I believe she would really like to grow up in that era, because she always like has these beautiful things, Victorian-esque decorations, and I think she would really appreciate that. But, so she's growing up, and, she like wants to run around and play, but she can't, you can't tear your stockings, you can't get dirty, she has to go make a sampler that says actions are louder than words, and she has to play the piano, and her grandmother is very old-fashioned, and so she has this neighbor named Eddie Ryland who is a pest, and his mother has a servant that comes in, and her name is Nellie. So Samantha befriends this girl. So then Samantha finds that there's this doll, and put the book down. There's this doll in the shop, and it's beautiful, and she says it looks like her mother. And so she asked her grandmother for the doll, and her grandma said that it's cost $6. Now, you've got to think back, this is in the Victorian era when the dollar was worth a lot more than it is today. So $6 was worth a lot for a doll. So her grandmother told her if she could show responsibility, she could get the doll. So then, she befriends Nellie, and then she starts working really hard on her piano. Then her grandmother gets her the doll. So she gives it, she shows Nellie one day in the yard, and Nellie's mesmerized by this doll. It's like the most beautiful thing. It's probably the only doll she's ever held. And so then they also have the seamstress, and her name is Jessie. And one day Jessie says, "Oh, I have to leave." And she says goodbye, Samantha, but no one will tell Samantha why she has to go. So Samantha and Nellie plan this midnight adventure going to find her, and it turns out that Jessie had a baby, and so Jessie's husband takes them back. And then, yes, and I believe, let me make sure. Oh, yes. So then Samantha comes home, and then Eddie started messing with her one day, and then he goes, "I know something you don't know, Samantha." And she goes, "What, Eddie?" And he goes, "Nellie's leaving." And it turns out she actually is, because she's sick, and his mother doesn't want to deal with her. So what Samantha does is she goes and she gives Lydia, which is the doll, to Nellie, and her grandmother is very impressed by how mature that decision was and how thoughtful that was. So that's the synopsis of the whole book. Now, I'm going to have to admit I'm quite biased on this book because Samantha is my favorite American Girl doll by far. I don't know, I connect with her stories more than the others. I'm very, I'm not Victorian-esque, but I love Victorian things. I have an antique bed, antique dressers. I have a little antique lamp. My camera's on my tripod right now, but I'll pick it up. But if you can see up there, I have a collection of little pitchers and basins and tea sets that I collect. So I really connect with her, and I see, like, I enjoy that time era. So yeah, and so it's just a really great book. It's really easy to read. It won't take you long at all. It's great for kids in elementary school because my elementary school had all the American Girls collection books. They were awesome. And so then there's something extra special that they put in here. I don't know if they still do it today, but I know they did it in the older books, and I'm so thankful I've got these. So what they did is it's a looking back section, and it's called A Peek into the Past. And if you look at it, it has all these pictures and descriptions from 1904, like pictures of the houses and servants and what everything would look like. And I'm so sad, but I got this book off eBay because it was the collection of all the old books, and the last page is ripped out, so that is quite sad. But it's got the old catalog things in there. And see, that was not the 5 original. Samantha, Molly, and Kirsten were the 3 original, but just the older ones. And so this is a great book. I hope you guys go out and read it. You can get it at AmericanGirl.com. Just go there, go to the store, and then go to the bookstore, and then type in Samantha, and then you should be able to pull it up. They sadly do not sell Samantha's doll collection on American Girl anymore. I got her the Christmas before she retired, and I wish I could have got more of her collection. But if any of you would like to sell any of her collection to me, just let me know. I hope you really enjoyed this book. The next book I will be reviewing is Samantha Learns a Lesson, and that one should be very interesting. Let me know if you have any books you would like me to review. I hope you enjoyed the first episode of Booking It, and I will talk to you guys later. Bye!